Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Card Recap. We have a complete sweep across the board. There is no game threes in the American League or the National League. Kind of surprising with that, Brendan. So we're here today to break it down, each of the games that we saw from today. First of all, I want to welcome in Brendan. Brendan, how are we doing?
Nick, I am blown away by the outcome of today for Wild Card Wednesday. The Toronto Blue Jays showing pure fraudulence, bowing out in 2 games. As I said yesterday, the fire sale is coming. And then my big point was the Milwaukee Brewers. I did not expect them to bow out this fast, especially in an upset to Arizona. Arizona's a talented team for sure, but I
Yeah.
thought Milwaukee was in this.
I think the big surprise was that game yesterday for the Diamondbacks winning. I'll think that Corbin
Yep.
Burns, I think everybody thought that he was going to come out guns blazing, and he didn't. The team was flat, didn't get the job done. Dbacks go up one game. It seems like the team that ever wins that first game, usually they have the upper hand. They get to call the shots. The pressure's off in a way. All the pressure's on the team that lost to try and get themselves back into this whole rundown here to see if they can get to the DS series. So I want to start at the top. We're going to go with the Rangers and the Rays. I had Nate Eovaldi coming out, big game Nate, getting the job done. That's what the prediction was from last night. Boy, would it have been nice for the Red Sox to get a pitcher like that. I wish we could have got him. I wish we could have had him, the one that got away.
Right?
So
Yeah,
Nate Eovaldi was stellar today, just completely stellar. Advances the Rangers into the next round. The Rangers will be playing the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, Nick, that's kind of the theme when it comes to the Texas Rangers is the starting rotation. The ones that we could have had, I was screaming about Montgomery last night, and Nathan Eovaldi, of course, was pitcher of the month, I believe, in May. They're a good team. They have a big series coming up against Baltimore. This is going to be a real barn burner.
Who do you want? Do you want the Rangers or do you want the Baltimore Orioles or nobody? I know how some people are. They can only root for the Red Sox and everything like that. But who would you want to see?
If I were to pick, I mean, the O's are a decent story, but I want them to lose. I want them to get pummeled. I want them to lose to Texas. Texas needs to show up. They're the lesser of two evils when it comes to Baltimore, and when we get into them, Houston. Houston is probably my least favorite team that's in this.
I think the Rangers, because of experience, are going to go and get advanced to the American League Championship Series. I think the Orioles may take a game, but I think inexperience is going to really hurt the Orioles in this series. Real young managers, never been in this spot, and pretty much everybody on that roster for the Orioles has maybe a handful of at bats in the postseason, and pitching wise too. So there isn't much there that I can have a lot of faith and trust in the Orioles getting to that next step. Rangers they're loaded with experience from Nate Eovaldi to Bruce Bochy. I mean, come on, 3-time World Series champion manager right there. That says enough right there for me to have some definite momentum for them to get to that next round. For the Rays, real quick, I just want to say, if anybody out there is going to model that organization anymore, you need your head examined because it doesn't win out. It doesn't. The stupid opener model does not last a full season. It doesn't. So for the Red Sox who wanted to morph their model in Boston with the Rays, I'm glad it blew up in your face because it doesn't work. Go out and get some proven talent and lock those players in. Let's go to the next surprise because we have so much to cover. I know we want to keep on trucking or keep on rolling. We have the Blue Jays and we have the Twins. The Twins, 2-0 advance to the next round. What a surprise that was on a couple different ends. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota, on paper, they have the pitching to contend in the playoffs. That's for sure. Uh, the Toronto Blue Jays, on paper, have pitching, batting, fielding. They have it all. And to see them flop out in 2 games, I mean, absolutely stunning. Stunning to see Toronto fall out. Fraudulent. There are players that I want from Toronto. Go get them.
Oh, I would welcome them. I don't care if they're a bunch of lonesome losers right now. I would
Just
take some
doesn't
of
work
those
there.
guys.
It'll work
Vladdy
here, though.
Guerrero, Bichette, Kevin Gausman, just to name a few. But I do
Springer's a good player,
have
too.
to mention, what is the manager doing with the Blue Jays? Berrios getting pulled after 4 innings, pitching great. You just signed this guy to a 7-year deal. What are you doing?
Yeah,
That was a joke.
Especially Minnesota, they're not known for the bats either.
That's terrible. If I'm a fan of the Blue Jays, I'd be screaming off the top of a cliff right now.
Oh, yeah.
This is where the nerd herd needs to go away. I am so done with the stupid statistics. Oh, well, this one after the 5th inning. This, you got to throw this ball over here. Get this out of the game. It is ruining it. Berrios should have gone at least 6-7 innings, but to yank him in the 4th, that is a
playoff
disgrace.
baseball. Yeah,
and that is exactly what you said. It's playoff baseball. You put your best players out there, and shame on the Blue Jays and their management for doing that. Sorry for you fans. I'm not yelling at you fans and anything, but definitely the management. They deserve that finger at them right now, and you should wave it pretty hard, because that would not fly here in Boston. I'll tell you that right now. No way. Who do you got for the Twins? So the Twins are going to advance. They're going to play the Houston Astros next. Do you have a favorite in that one?
I think Astros are going to take that. Space City. I definitely would prefer Minnesota. I have no qualms with Minnesota other than spring training, because they're right across the street. But
I forgot my one major stat I have to tell you, and I told you this off air.
Oh, yeah.
The Twins won a playoff series, folks, for the first time since 2002. That is when David Ortiz was a member of that team. Let that sink in.
Bizarre.
The last time they won a series was 2002, when David Ortiz was a member of the Twins. It was actually against the Athletics, I believe. And I remember that, to get to the championship series. Unreal. So the fans were pumped. It was a lively place there at Target Field. Fun environment. That is a great story out there from Minnesota. Great to see that. Great to see it. And for Rocco Baldelli as well, former Red Sox. We forget about the Rays. We're just former Red Sox. We're going to go over to the National League next. For the National League, the first game up for today was the Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. A must-win game for Milwaukee today. Wasn't able to happen. Torey Lovello and the D-backs get the W thanks to Zach Gaffin or Gallon. Zach Gallon or Gaffin?
Zach Gallen. Yep.
Zach Gallon.
Gallon.
I get those confused a little bit. But yeah, stellar start. Exactly what they were expecting from what he did from the regular season. Amazing to see that story for the Diamondbacks, the underdog.
Winning in game 1 on the road was a statement. And then they wrote it. They said, we're the better team, and Milwaukee could not bounce back.
No, they really couldn't. I know Bob Uecker, who's their legendary broadcaster and everything, had a fun little tweet about, we got all the way for this and can't show up. You can't show up. What can you do? Final game up was the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. I think there's a wagon. I think a wagon is happening, and that is in Philly. City of Brotherly Love is all amped up right now. They're advancing, and they're going to be facing off against the Braves. Huge series. Oh, let's go back a second. Diamondbacks will be facing their NL West foes, the Dodgers, in that series. Yeah, unreal. But for the Phillies game, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the Philadelphia Phillies, they get the grand slam from Bryson Stott.
Huge.
They're riding momentum going into what could be one of the biggest series we see in the postseason. Atlanta and Philadelphia. It is going to be a barn burner. Thank God they have the momentum for it because they're going to need it. Atlanta is legit.
They got a lot of stars in this upcoming series. A lot of
yeah.
stars. And it was a great start by Aaron Nola as well for the Phillies. There's a guy that's also atop the wish list for a Red Sox if they could potentially get something done there.
Aaron Nola.
But we'll have to see on that front. So that was the series for past 2 days. Again, all it took was 2 games. There is no games tomorrow. That means Brendan and I get a day. We get a day off. What are we going to do with ourselves? Don't worry, we'll have plenty of other things.
We'll figure something out.
But we'll be back on Friday to look at the division series, which will be starting for all 4 series. Will be starting. So once again, Rangers, Orioles. I'm not going to look at my sheet when I say this.
Astros, Twins.
Astros and Twins. Diamondbacks and Dodgers, Phillies and Braves. Those are your teams that you have going for the division series. It's going to be a best of 5. Best of 5. We'll see what happens. And then it's to the championship series we go. So we'll be here to break it down with you again on Friday. Hope everybody has a great rest of your night. Take care.
Take care, everybody.